County. Please give it up for Jennings.
So last week, I tried to take my dog to the zoo to show him just how good he has it. And the guy says I can't bring a dog into the zoo because it'll confuse the other animals. I'm thinking, oh yeah, I'm sure giving the gorillas tires instead of trees isn't confusing enough. I'm sure every day the polar bears sit around just going, God, it never used to be this hot. But my dog failed me. He failed me as a watchdog because a little while ago, I had my car stolen from out of my driveway.
Oh.
Out of my driveway. I mean, if you can't leave your car running overnight in your driveway, where the hell can you? Well, you know, I should have known better because when I moved into that neighborhood, my insurance company didn't send me a policy, they sent me odds. I had October at 12 to 1, so we got all that worked out, and I embarked on buying a new car. And I'll tell you, buying a new car can be a lot of fun if you're rich. If you're not, well, the choices of cars are limited, but I finally found a car. Guy goes in the office, check my credit. Comes back out a few seconds later, he's like, Mr. Jennings, your credit's so bad that we can't take cash from you. As a matter of fact, while we were in there, Citibank Visa called, somebody got the money to go with them. I was like, you didn't tell them I'm still here, did you? So I needed money. I figured I'd get a loan, go to my bank, take my Publishers Clearinghouse sweepstakes letter as collateral. There's an official seal right on it. And they would not give me the loan in spite of the fact that I may have already won. But I finally did buy a new car. About a 1990 Chevrolet Cavalier. Oh yeah. This ain't your grandma's Cavalier. Wait a second, it is. But, you know, having the car stolen actually made me feel like finally like I belong here in Los Angeles, because I'm not actually from here, actually. In fact, a few years ago, I actually moved to Alaska because that's what all the kids were doing. And, you know, it's really weird up there. It's like an entire other culture. And I've been living up there a couple weeks. And finally one day, my friend pulls me aside and he says, Jay, the correct term for these people up here is Inuit. And I'm like, oh. Because up until then, I've been calling them dirty little ice people. But, I gotta tell you folks, being single in Alaska sucked because there's only 2 jobs we have, and trust me, neither of them impress women. I get the first job, I'm in a bar one night, I go to the next girl. Hey baby, how's it going? Do you know I could blow out a fur? I got like 20 dolphins caught in my tuna nets today. Boy, they chopped them up, get them out of the nets, huh? Oh, I thought they were the smart fish. So I lost that job. But I get the other job though, same results. I'm in a bar one night talking to this girl. Man, my shoulders are killing me. I must have clubbed 30 baby seals today. Oh, let's look at the screaming noises. They sound like children, you know? So I ended up moving to LA, and I moved in with this guy, and he's a really nice guy, and I probably shouldn't say anything, but it is just painfully obvious that he's, you know, a vampire. And he always denies it, you know? And so I finally confront him. I say, dude, look, you never go to church. You sleep all day because you work at night. And you freak out every time I try to drive a stake through your heart. You know, I don't want to necessarily say anything bad about this country, but double standards are killing this country. And I'll tell you why. Why is it that a girl can flash her tits at a Motley Crue concert, but the minute a guy starts waving his dick around at the Britney Spears show, everybody gets all bent out of shape? What a crappy concert. I mean, I was practically giving away the acid I was selling. But, is everybody here poor? Of course not. Miceli's? No. I am, and you know, I found out though recently a really good way to make money: counterfeiting. Now, I tried this for a little while, but I finally got turned in by my landlord when I tried to pay my rent with a $685 bill. But as you probably guessed by now, I'm single. Let me tell you something, folks. I'm single by choice. Women choose to not date me. See, the problem is that I don't understand women at all, because I figure all women like compliments, right, ladies?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, really? So I'm out having dinner last week with this girl. We're having a good time. So finally I lean in during dinner and I say, you know, you remind me so much of my mother. And she looks at me like, your mother? You know, like this isn't good enough for her? So I say, oh, I mean my hot, sexy mother. But speaking of communism, when I was a kid, the Cold War was raging, and I was deathly afraid of nuclear war because it's pretty scary, I think. And then recently, the Cold War ended, I got older. But then recently, with the whole Y2K problem, people were afraid that missiles might go off and there'd be a war all over again. But this time, I had a different worry. How would a nuclear holocaust affect my career? So I was forced to come up with some special post-apocalyptic material, which I'd like to share with you all right now. So if you all bear with me, let's all imagine we're at the basement of Miceli's after nuclear war. Hey, all right, hey, thank you so much. Hey, it's great to be here. Hey, I just got back from where San Francisco used to be, and after masturbating the whole way for nutrients, boy, are my arms tired. Hey, thank you, thank you. Hey, anybody remember lettuce? You know, all green and leafy, you'd put on a sandwich? What was up with that? Okay, be sure to catch me next week. I'll be at Kansas Island. Thank you very much. But, you know, a lot of people thought Jesus was coming in 2000. Did he? I don't have cable. But, you know, I was thinking to myself, you know, how lucky we are that we just have this one God to worry about. Because think about the ancient Greeks. They had all these gods to worry about. And everyday life was affected by the gods, you know. You'd hear people be like, yeah, man, I was going to take my kids to Crete this weekend, but destroyed by the Kraken. Fucking Poseidon. You know, and then I thought to myself, you know, wouldn't it be great if in mythology today to explain, like, our modern-day problems, you know? You'd be, like, driving down the road, you listen to the radio, and the guy's like, yeah, well, traffic was tied up at the 405-101 interchange today as a four-headed leopard was killing all the drivers who couldn't answer his riddle. Look at that one, you know what I'm talking about? But, like many of you, I'm from Seattle. That's where my parents live. Anybody have parents? But Seattle is really cool, and actually, though, recently, if you don't remember or not, it was in the news at the end of last year with the World Trade Organization was in town, or the WTO, if you will, and there was a lot of protests and some riots and stuff, and am I the only one here that when I heard the WTO, I immediately thought of wrestling? You know, I figured I'd go home and be like a commercial on UP and be like, good evening, everyone. This is me, Jane Oakland, coming to you live from the Emerald City. Home tonight's WTO SmackDown, the battle for Seattle. Recently, a great grudge match is coming for you, starting with Brazil versus the United States. Here's what Brazil said earlier today. United States, you may have favored nation status, but I'm here to tell you your draconian anti-dumping laws don't scare me. My exploded steel will find its way to your shores, just as my patented Neo de Janeiro will find its way to your skull. Well, strong words from Brazil. And as always, Brazil will be accompanied by the lovely Uruguay. Coming to our main event, it's old versus new. As Cold War casualty, the former Soviet Union takes on current-day communism in the 400 People's Republic of China. Here's what the Soviet Union said earlier today. Gene, when communism fell at an all-time low. But then I looked up, and I heard all my Balkan maniacs, and they told me to turn the Great Wall of China into the Great Mall of Free Trade. It's going to be pandemonium, the WTO SmackDown, coming up next.